Hi, everyone. My name is Evelyn, and welcome back to my podcast. Today, I'm here with Dhanu Sannesy. She's the executive director of NAMI Orange County, New York, and a member of the National NAMI National Alliance on Mental Illness Board of Directors. She has been involved with NAMI for more than decades as a peer advocate, educator, and program leader. Through her work, she helps individuals and families understand mental illness, navigate recovery, and build long term support systems. She has since trained and led numerous NAMI programs, including Family to Family, Basics, Peer to Peer, Ending the Silence, and multiple support groups focused on recovery and education. Her work centers on one core mission: helping people understand that they are not alone and that recovery is possible with the right support systems. Thank you so much for being here, Danu.
Sure.
To start, can you share what life looked like for you when you first came in contact with NAMI?
I was I was confused.
Mhm.
When my family member got sick, I didn't know where to turn to. Then I saw three words in the newspaper. It's like NAMI support group, and that's where my journey started in 1992.
Thank you. What was going through your mind at that time, if while your family member was while you were trying to understand what your family
It
member was going
was it was a lot of confusion
through? Hmm.
and also guilt, shame. I thought that I gave the illness to my family member, um, and that was the uh, it was a lot of guilt. I would say a lot of guilt, a lot of sleepless nights. Didn't know what was going on. um, I had no idea about the mental health. I never knew there is such thing as mental health.
Hmm.
So, and again, uh, it was again, people not understanding. Families could not understand what was going on,
Hmm.
and I didn't know what was going on.
Hmm.
So that was a lot of confusion, chaos, denial. Those were my
And what
feelings.
changed for you after you attended that NAMI support group?
After I attended the NAMI support group, I saw a few people sharing their stories, and then kind of like, and we also had started like going for seeing the different providers, like to see what's happening with us. But again, that going to the support group just with few people, um, that kind of, it was okay. I felt like I was not alone. But then when I went to state conference, there were like few hundred people.
Hmm.
But I was blaming myself for what happened to my family member. I gave the illness to my family member. That was constantly bothering me until I saw thousands of people at the NAMI National Conference, and that is where my idea changed. That I was not the. It's nobody's fault.
Hmm. At what point did you start from supporting your own family member to being an advocate for other people?
Actually, I started taking the, all these programs, the NAMI Family to Family, the support group, constantly attending the support groups and educating others. And that's where I kind of really, and also like helping other people, to educating other people, hearing from other people, that made me, feel it took a long time to accept that the illness.
Hmm.
Uh, but again, hearing from more and more people, uh, definitely it made me feel like I'm not alone. But I started advocating right away because I was like constantly reading about the condition,
Hmm.
understanding what the nature of the illness. That way, I was kind of more. Uh, Immediately, I had to know what's going on. Why is this happening? You know, to education knowledge, reading a lot of articles, reading about everything about NAMI, um, and then eventually I was getting trained, more and more trainings, more and more programs. So the more I kind of started talking about it, started listening, that's what really made me accept that thing. Yep.
And what was like the main motivation to keep you doing this for like the next 30 years?
Oh, next, definitely seeing the improvement, seeing the changes in people's lives, how it's making, these programs are making a difference in uh, the family caregivers as well as the individuals' lives. And they kind of encouraging them, uh, guiding them through the path of recovery and seeing them change things, looking at seeing them accomplishing things. And that's what really motivates me, seeing the changes in them, positive ones.
What do you think is like the biggest misconception that families don't really that families usually have when they go into a mental health system?
They think that it's a shame. Definitely they think that it's a shame. It's like a stigma, something to be ashamed of. They don't talk about it. And also they think that they're kind of like, in some cultures they don't expose that person in the social events, thinking that they're kind of disgrace, or they might, uh, and also people have a lot of different ideas that person may be childish. um, yeah, the person may he, this person has mental illness, he cannot do the he she or she cannot do anything. um, you know so they have all kinds of stuff, and also the cultural beliefs, the cultural beliefs, because it's hush hush, don't talk about it.
Mhm. From your perspective, what do you think recovery looked like for your family members beyond like looking better just in symptoms?
Recovery is like it's different for everybody. um, Again, getting involved getting involved in the community, uh, getting involved with NAMI, and see, like, whatever they kind of any programs what fits their interest, they can do that. And again, by helping other people, I strongly believe by helping other people, that's where the healing is. Sharing your story, personal stories, that is very powerful.
Yeah.
um, so definitely getting involved more and more with the programs and in the community, uh, that is where the recovery is.
Do you think psychiatric like rehabilitation centers work well with families to help the recovery process?
It all depends, though. It all depends where they are located. Depends in every state. In our case, yes, it has helped.
What role do you think your support groups did in helping you find like stability or like comfort?
The support groups are like, you the best thing I can say is like finding strength in each other,
Mhm.
listening to other people's stories, sharing my own story. That is where the strength is.
You've been involved in like so many NAMI educational programs. What do people most commonly like learn after attending?
The most common program,
Yeah.
that's NAMI support groups and NAMI family to family.
Over like the past 30 years that you've been working as an advocate, have you seen like the stigma around mental illnesses change, or has that been like the same?
The stigma has, we have come a long way because we openly speak up now. We don't keep it in ourselves. And we encourage every young person to speak up. And young people are really, they're ready to speak, share their stories. And that's where we are really busting the stigma.
Mhm. What keeps you hopeful when you see another family going through the same situation as you did?
I would definitely encourage them that, again, the education,
Right.
getting involved in the programs, getting involved in the community, sharing their stories, either the caregivers or their loved ones sharing their stories. By sharing their story, they are definitely helping other people.
Yeah.
And also, not just along with sharing stories, also, like, definitely what has helped and what hasn't.
Right.
um, and the medications, the research, the side effects, keeping track of all those things. And definitely it's a life experience is the one what really, sharing our life experiences with others, that has
What
helped.
role do you think NAMI plays in like the mental health world that you think that schools or like hospitals cannot do?
uh, our personal stories,
Right.
our personal lived experiences, because we speak, we are not clinicians, we are not doctors, but we speak from our own lived experience, which the hospitals looks at more like in a clinical point of view, but we look at from our own lived experience.
If somebody has like a family member that is going through something, what would you like want them to know? Right.
I want them to know that they are not alone. We are in this together. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for
You're welcome.